Namaskaram. Hello and welcome to P Guru's channel. I'm your host Sri Iyer. And today I have the pleasure of company of Professor R. Vaidyanathan. And he and I are going to talk about what I would call as the Chaiwala moment in Tamil Nadu elections. Because something that significant happened in the last few days. And the person who did all this stuff is Mr. A. Raja. I believe in Tamil Nadu, many people don't recognize him as A. Raja, but they recognize him as 2G Raja. But to understand and the implications and the seriousness of what this person has done, let us go over and join Professor RV. Professor RV, Namaskaram and welcome to P Guru's channel, sir.
Namaskaram, and first and foremost, my sincere namaskaram to all the audience of P Gurus. It is always a pleasure to be part of this. And as already indicated, kindly subscribe to the channel and encourage the channel. Today, we will have a look at some important development which has taken place in Tamil Nadu politics, particularly for the election. See, if you look back, every election all over the world, whether it's US or India or UK, many of the elections have what are called the very important breakthrough type of situation. Something which happens which alters the entire discourse and other things. For instance, the Churchill's election before the Second World War in Europe, then the election debate between Nixon and Kennedy.
Kennedy, right.
That created like that. Here in Tamil Nadu, quite a number of these events. I have also been part of it. I should communicate that. Not because humility is my middle name, but I thought I will share it with you. This around 2007-8, there was a affidavit filed by the government of India by Gopal Subramaniam, our own person from Tamil Nadu. That
you mean the one who's a Supreme Court lawyer, amicus curiae for Ananta Padmanabha Swami Temple also?
Yeah. He became amicus curiae later.
Yeah.
Now he filed he was that time the government lawyer. He filed an affidavit telling that there is no proof that Ram existed. So it is a very, very type of a dangerous statement to make in Supreme Court by the government of India. And I was in the night doing some work. Suddenly I saw on my computer screen this message that he has mentioned like this. That time I knew Deepak Chopra, who is also now the assistant of Advani. So I immediately rang him up. I told what is happening. And he was also surprised. He has not seen it so far. And Advaniji was mentioned about it. And he asked me, is it really true, Professor? Or no, it's true. By then, they have a PTI machine in their home. By then, that is also began to give the ticker about the Supreme Court affidavit, and it became a. And I told you should take it up. He told definitely. He was opposition leader, and he convened immediately the early morning on press conference and told he condemned number and other thing. And this became a very major issue that Ram didn't exist. And our own then Chief Minister Karunanidhi, he sarcastically asked in which engineering college Ram studied and did he really build that bridge and other. Poor fellow. Unfortunately, within 2 months he fell ill and then he was to be taken to Ramachandra Medical College Hospital of all the places in these are all called some coincidences or karma. Anyhow, be that as it may. Next, what happened?
So, what was the position of Gopal Subramaniam at that time, sir?
He was the government, what you call Advocate General or Attorney General for the
Advocate General of Tamil Nadu government.
No, central government.
Central government. Oh, yes. Oh, these guys are coalition partners. Understood.
Yeah. So that is the thing. That time there were, what you call UF, what you may call MMS. Manmohan Singh was the Prime Minister of the country. Anyhow, so there was another occasion which was much later, around 2013, where the AICC session was being held. And our own again from Tamil Nadu, Manishankar Iyer made a comment that after all, Narendra Modi is a chaiwala, he sold tea and that thing, and everybody laughed. Now this also, it came in the evening in my computer screen that this is the thing which is. I was aghast actually about it, and actually it is true that earlier in some context somebody has told Modi ji has sold tea in railway platforms, and it's not something unknown or something, but it became a bigger thing because it was mentioned in. And then, of course, as usual, Manishankar Iyer told many other things. We will send him back to do the same thing and all that. So I was that time I was active in Twitter. I had a reasonable number of followers. Now I have more number of followers. I tweeted telling that with hashtag Chaiwala, you should immediately start doing this. Quite a number of experts in Delhi known to me, including my very good friend, this Meenakshi Jain's sister, actually. She told me, don't do this, and a couple of other people also told, no need to talk about his humble origin and other thing. It might, backfire. I was amazed actually. I told the humble origin is actually a USP, unique selling proposition. He has not done anything wrong. He had a small petty business and he was doing it, and he was not doing anything illegal, or he was not like our previous chief minister Karunanidhi, who came without ticket from Thiruvarur to Chennai to start his life. He didn't do anything like that. But anyhow, some people were not happy. Fortunately, the political power that time in the party, the Bharatiya Janata Party, they took it up, this Chaiwala thing, and then it became a major issue in election campaign. And why I am telling these two incidents is, I recall that how, sometimes certain other things crop up and it becomes a very major thing. Now, in the last few days, if you look at Andimuthu Raja, as popularly is known as 2G Raja, he made observation in public meetings. First, he told that the Chief Minister EPS, Edappadi Palanichami, is not even worth 1 rupee more than the chappal which is being worn by MK Stalin. That itself was very, very derogatory. What happened is these people travel in a van and then do campaign. Around the van, there are these chamchagiris or whatever you call it. They push them to tell many of the things. And like Udayanidhi Stalin is pushed. Anna, you tell this. And so they are carried away sometimes by, they do not know what they are talking about. Like one Leonil, who comes as a moderator in some of the debate, he began talking about the hip of women in Tamil Nadu. He says in the olden days the child can be held at the hip. Today it cannot be held there like barrel, and totally unwanted type of comment. Anyhow, the same Raja, day before yesterday, if I recall correctly, he made another thing. He told that people like Stalin have come up hard in life. That is, he was the corporate, he was MLA, then he became a corporation mayor, then he became a minister, then he became deputy chief, like that. So he began to tell that it is like a conception of a woman, and after doing Simandam, after doing several other things, after 300 days, a child is born. Stalin is like that. Whereas our EPR, he just, from nowhere he came up and became a CM because he fell at the feet of that lady that time, Kashikala. And it is something like, the conception and delivery of a child which is not legitimate. This is what he told that. It's a very, very grave and that type of charge one can see. Yesterday, actually, I was seeing some television, and EPS was nearly in tears actually when he mentioned about it. Earlier, also, he was upset about being told that is not 1 rupee more than the chapel value of Stalin. That he took it in stride and told, yeah, people like me are from ordinary average background. We didn't do any Golmaal to collect 1,75,000 crore. Like that, he left it. But this particular one was very, very. He told this is, and unfortunately, recently only his mother passed away. Tavasi Amma, she's a very elderly lady. So, will the NDA, that is this ADMK, PMK, BJP, this grouping, Will they take advantage of it? Carry it to every constituency? According to me, immediately they should prepare a neutral platform called பெண்மையை போற்றுகிறோம் தாய்மையை வணங்குகிறோம். That is the womanhood we are praising, and the motherhood we are worshipping, and collect all type of women. This is one thing very interesting in Tamil Nadu. You should always remember, a women issue transcends caste issue. Caste issue transcends religious issues. So this is sort of a hierarchy of thing. If this issue is taken up, all women, Muslim women, Christian women, all type of women will be getting involved in this. Arrange processions in every constituency about and have a huge pictures of this Tavasi Amma everywhere installed, and say we are all children of Tavasi Amma. And if you, some of you may remember, a long time before, M.G. Ramachandran hugged a very elderly lady, and that photo became a very popular campaign material and other. So the question is, how much they will go forward, or will they say that God will punish A Raja, or P Raja will meet his punishment in the next birth of A Raja? He doesn't believe in that. You may believe in that. So, or something like that, or people will answer A Raja in the polling station. Or if you do all those things, it is what one can loosely call in Tamil Varagoda type of thing. It is like taking you cut lady's finger, or what is called in American jargon okra, in a bowl, and then put the castor oil into that very significant amount, and then you mix it, the castor oil and the cut lady's finger, you mix it, add some more thick jaggery, what one can call prepared, into that, and then wait for some time, see how crisp the whole thing. That is what we call Varavoda. In other words, you don't want to take a stand. Will NDA adopt this posture? Is the question. I do not know actually. There is one C.T. Ravi who is coordinating from Karnataka. There is one Santosh who is coordinating for BJP. For ADMK, they have the ministers. For PMK, they have this Ramadas and his son. I do not know whether all of them understand the significance of this situation. What we can easily call Chaiwala moment. Whether one can capitalize on it, whether one, because this is across party line, across caste, across communities. This is very, very important. They should be able to hammer it. They should be able to come out successful. The second important point is this DMK has released some 300 point manifesto. 259. You remember this number? 259 point in that manifesto is they will give if they come to power, which they are very confident. They are more or less sure that they are already in power. They will give 60,000 rupees for every listed community, namely the weaker, the Dalit community person who is marrying outside the community, as well as some gold sovereign. This is supposed to have been a scheme enunciated by M. Karunanidhi in the name of his mother long time before. Now they are revamping it. 60,000 rupees. In comparison, let's say Biden announces that every black man who marries a white woman will get $5,000 in cash, or a check of $10,000 will come to his home. Suppose he announces, in order to encourage what are called interracial relationship. It's supposed, this scheme is supposed to be encouraging, creating a casteless society. Now what is going to happen? 60,000 is not a small sum by any stretch of imagination. There is going to be a huge amount of social tension and social upheaval. At the age of 18, 20, 19, what do they know about marriage, life, everything? You just tie a yellow thread and you are supposed to be married. So this fellow will catch hold of a girl and tie it and go and collect 60,000. After 3 months, suppose they leave each other. Is it going to be reimbursed? No mention about what is going to happen. What I am very worried is marriage is going to become a huge business proposition in order to collect money, and which will obviously create huge amount of social tension. The girls belonging to Tevar community, Nadar community, Gondar community, Vanier community, and other thing are all going to be affected. Let me be very, very clear about it. These are the large percent, what you call proportion wise, and the demand should be by all responsible people that 259 item should be deleted by DMK in its manifesto, because the social cohesion is much, much more important. If two people are in love, they will marry. I'm 100% sure about it. They are not going to do it because of this 20,000 or 30,000 or 60,000. Let us be very, very clear about it. So these are the two major one. According to me, the first one is extremely critical and crucial. And that lady name is Davasi Amma. I feel Davasi should be the decisive factor in the coming poll in Tamil Nadu. And that should tilt the scale, what I call the tectonic moment, or in our Indian context, Chaiwala moment. Every poll provides some opportunity, but the fellows are interested in taking advantage of it or not. For instance, whether one likes it or not, BLM provided that opportunity for Biden and Harris combined. They took advantage of it. Whether they were 100% in agreement with a lot of these Antifa principles and other thing, God alone knows. So, are you going to take advantage of it? Is the NDA going to expose Stalin as well as his other cronies? Is they going to demand unconditional apology from Raja as well as Stalin? All these are questions. And since I am a professor, retired, but still I am a professor only, I can ask questions. These are what we may loosely call unanswered questions. I hope not. These are not out of syllabus. These are within the syllabus. These are questions to Edapadi Ram Palanichami. These are questions to Ramadas. These are questions to Murugan, who is heading the this. Some people say there could be internal politics in DMK in the family, and due to that, deliberately this Raja is trying to sabotage. I don't, it could be or it need not be. I don't think we should get to read about it. There is an internal politics, let there be. Let them sort it out. But that is not the reason for you to keep quiet or anything for this type of aberrations or anything. Because it is perceived Raja and Kani belong to one group and they are not in consonance with. That's not. Other issue is they say Raja belongs to listed community, and if you take up this issue, it will be perceived as you are attacking the SC community. Which is the most absurd type of argument. Because incidentally, the leader of the BJP is also belonging to a listed community. It's not something totally different or anything. You cannot say that listed community man can get away with it. That type of logic, I don't think will work. So I'm eagerly waiting. I'm sure so many others are waiting. How the NDA is going to utilize this opportunity, because between today and Sunday, after Sunday, you cannot campaign. Tuesday, next Tuesday, not the coming Tuesday, next Tuesday is the election. How much the political parties in NDA are going to take advantage of it is something which is a very, very interesting question. And if they miss the opportunity, I'm sure later historians will write how a golden opportunity was missed. And if they capture the opportunity, it will again be told how this particular moment, like your Chaiwala moment or Ram did not exist moment, how it could create a interesting possibilities for India. This is what I thought I will immediately share with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And we will wait and see. And as always, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and please like our videos. Please do comment what you think of our programming, the content, the quality. And we look forward to having you again, Professor RV, hopefully in
Thank
the
you very
next few
much.
days.
Maybe before the poll, we will have one more talk.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.